Alright, let's try out the Calorie Mates. I got 4 different flavors. I don't remember which is which, but these are the Calorie Mates. The light isn't giving a massive glare on these, but that's okay. It's the Wi-Fi router. Oh, look, it like almost perfectly frames into the screen. A great 16:9 viewing. Alright. Like I said, I got 4 different flavors. It probably does say what flavor it is, but I just can't, like, read it. The Calorie Mate block contains a nutritionally balanced source of energy needed for daily activities. Calorie Mate block is great for people who are always on the go, needing an easy way of consuming energy and nutrients, whether it's for breakfast, work, sports, study, or any busy time. The product is balanced nutrition food, solid type. The ingredients: wheat flour, margarine, sugar, egg, processed lemon peel, almond, grapefruit fruit juice powder. So these are like broken up weirdly because it's English text, and so some of the words are like in half randomly, and I'm like, what the fuck word is this? Grapefruit juice powder, non-fat milk powder, soy protein, wheat protein, starch, salt, sodium, caseinate, modified starch, flavors, nargin, and carotenoid color. Net weight 80 grams. Best before see bottom panel. December this year. Manufacturer Otsuka Pharmaceutical. And Kanda Suka Samachi. Chiyoda Q, Tokyo, Japan. They do taste good. I bet they'd be a cool camping snack. I feel like they would just be a really good, like, I mean, this has got to be like a massive time saver type thing. Nutritional, informational per serving. Energy, 400k calories. What is it? 400k cal? 400k cal. I don't know what that is. That must be another measurement? Like, what is that? Because I would assume it's just 400 calories. Protein, 8.2 grams. Fat, 22 grams. 43 grams of carbohydrate. 41 grams of sugar. 2 grams of dietary fiber. Salt equivalent is 1 gram. Calcium, 200 milligrams. Iron, 2 milligrams. Magnesium, 50 milligrams. Phosphorus, 80 milligrams. Vitamin A, 385 UG. Vitamin B1, vitamin B2, vitamin B6, vitamin B12. Nican, pantothenic acid, folic acid, vitamin C, vitamin D, vitamin E. Note: to ensure freshness, ensure is spelled wrong. Please eat as soon as possible after opening the package. K is 1,000, 400,000. There's no way this is 400,000 calories, dumb luck. That's why I said I think it must mean something else. So if we look here, where is it? Oh yeah, 400k cal. There's no way this is 400,000 calories. This would kill a man if you ate this and it was 400,000 calories. Kilojoules? 400k, nice knowing you. I mean, maybe this will kill me, who knows? Well, yeah, here's the full box. This must be, I imagine this is the nutrition lineup, but like this is, yeah, this must be all of it in Japanese. Obviously, I can't read that, but there you go. And then just like the little sides. I feel like we won't have to read this for every single one, but alright, let's get this open. These weren't too bad, or like price-wise, on Amazon. I think I got them all for like 40 bucks. All 40 of these, which isn't too bad, considering it's like imported from Japan. So it comes in little. Sorry, I hit the microphone. Like tinfoil wrappers here. inside the box. There's 2 of them. So I think it's like 4 little bars. I'm actually kind of surprised by how small these are. But I guess they are like about the size of the box. So if you put them like next to each other. I actually kind of assumed it was just one giant like square, which is probably a weird thing to think that it would be, but that's fine. Alright, so let's try this one first. If I'm gonna have each of these flavors, I can't have too much of the first one, I think. I probably should have grabbed scissors before this stream if I was gonna eat these, because these are gonna be hard to open. Each block is 100 calories. Oh my god, the smell like just flooded the room as soon as I opened this. I think this flavor's cheese. I think it's kind of smells cheesy, but like not. All right. See, if I was a professional at doing these kinds of videos, I would have had a way to open this. So this is what our calorie mate looks like. Looks kind of like a wafer. Doesn't usually look like the average like American protein bar. It's so dry. It's like a brick. Yeah. Oh my god, it's so dry. It definitely tastes like cheese. It tastes like if you left like cheddar cheese out and it started to get stale. I don't know how, I know cheese doesn't really get stale, but this is kind of what it tastes like. It like crumbles almost immediately in your mouth, but there's absolutely no moisture inside it. So you're just kind of like immediately eating a bunch of dust. It's like stale cheese. And it like also gets crumbs everywhere. I'm gonna need to like vacuum my chair. I brought this plate, and then I obviously didn't use it, because why? Okay, I can't keep it. I need to take a sip of water, hang on. I wouldn't say this is bad, but it also wouldn't be my go-to. For how, like, the nutrition on the box says that it has like 40 grams of sugar in this. It doesn't necessarily feel like it doesn't taste like there's sugar in it. It just really tastes like a dry cheese. Like I said, you can even kind of see, like, when I set it down on the plate, it immediately crumbled a little bit. Without like a fruit paste in it, like, I don't know if some of you have had like a Nutri-Grain bar. It almost has a similar consistency to the Nutri-Grain bar if the Nutri-Grain bar didn't have like that fruit paste in the middle. So like once you bite into the Nutri-Grain bar, the paste kind of like comes out and like moistens the granola around it. This kind of tastes like if you squeezed the paste out of the Nutri-Grain bar and we're just eating the granola. It's like that type of consistency, but then this one's like cheese. Yeah, the biggest thing I can describe about it is that it's so dry. And also, there are weird, like, little chunks of the cheese, like, inside it. But I can get the camera to focus on that. Like, you can see, like, the chunk of cheese in there. That doesn't have, like, a cheese texture to it. Like, if that makes sense? Like, it tastes like a dried out gummy that has cheese flavorings. which is very, like, a weird thing to taste. Like, I can feel it sticking to my teeth, kind of like you would, like a gummy bear would, like those little cheese blocks. But yeah, it tastes like cheese, which is really weird. Alright. Since these are like 100 calories a pop, I'm just going to have one bar of each flavor. So that was the cheese one. It's not awful, but it's not great. I do think cheese is a weird flavor for like a protein bar, and I definitely think it's something for a more like not American taste palette. Because obviously Americans, we like our sugar, we like our sweeter things for breakfast and for protein, which is why protein bars in the US usually have like their chocolate flavors or their peanut butter flavors or their fruit flavors when you're thinking of protein bars in the US. And I think because the Japanese have a different palate for, obviously, that's not as sweet as the American one, I think that's why that they would go with cheese for this. This feels like something you would not eat for like to wake up in the morning. Because when I wake up and I'm like getting ready for work, on my drive to work, I have a protein bar. Like I usually have like a Cliff Bar or something like that, because I don't like big breakfasts, but it's definitely a lot sweeter than this. Just as dry though. We did a few food review like this during the Metal Gear Solid Delta streams. If we can find where to purchase like snake, like if I could get snake that's properly cooked, I would absolutely eat that on Metal Gear Solid Delta streams. Coming later this year. I would do it. But I don't know where you could buy snake as a food in the US. And I'm not making it myself, because I don't trust myself to cook snake. I can barely cook chicken and beef, alright? But if we can find it somewhere, I'll try it. Frog might be a good substitute, because I bet you I could probably find, like, frog legs or something somewhere. So yeah, I'd be willing to do something like an animal-type food. A more, obviously all food are animals, but like a more weird food thing. Because I used to actually do this quite a bit back in 2020 during the pandemic. During the streams, a lot of games we would break up the streams with food tasting. So this isn't something that this isn't the first time I'm doing something like this on stream. There's a playlist on my channel for like mukbang videos where I try different foods. I try different like things on stream. I tried, like, when I played Persona 5, I tried I tried curry for the first time. When I played Persona 4, I tried takoyaki for the first time. So I've done a lot of different food things based on games I'm playing, if like food is a core element to the game's story. So New Orleans has snake, Chicago has to have it somewhere. Yeah, I'll definitely look into it. I think it would be very fitting to eat snake, and I'm not opposed to trying it for Delta. So you should subscribe to see if I eat snake while streaming Metal Gear Solid Delta. In the meantime, let's try out the next flavor. So I think this will be the next flavor we'll go with. Again, I don't know what flavor this is, but it's it's like a pink version of Calorie Mate. So I think this is like a fruit. It's so weird to me. I mean, I guess it's because I'm looking for it to be in English, but it doesn't say what kind of flavor it is. And I think that's weird. And I can only think of that it must say the fruit in the Japanese, or like the flavor, like in here somewhere. I can get the camera to focus on it. Yeah. No. This doesn't really have a very different ingredient list. I'm not going to read the whole thing again. You can pause if you'd like to see what the ingredients are for this one. But it's basically the same thing. Calories are the same. This one has a little bit less protein, has a little bit less sugar. So I imagine this is definitely more of a fruit. Alright, so this has the same kind of packaging. As you can see, this one's just like a little pink tin foil, though, instead. So, let's get this one open. Put my plate, my legs here, so when I do eat it, it doesn't crumb all over my chair again. Alright, this one. Oh yeah, that's definitely fruit. Okay, this actually smells like a strawberry granola bar. Or like Nutri-Grain bar, like I just mentioned earlier. This smells pretty good. I don't see like the fruit chunks in it though, like I saw the cheese chunks in the other one. See the holes on the top of it there. Which I imagine this is where like the flavor gets pushed in on the thing. Has anyone ever had snake leg before? The leg is so much better than the body. This is actually pretty good. And does taste not as dry as the cheese one. I think the cheese being in the other Calorie Mate block dried it out. And I don't know if they did that like so the cheese wouldn't spoil or something. I mean, I guess cheese is already spoiled, technically. It is still very dry. But this tastes like a strawberry Nutri-Grain bar. But there's no like paste to moisten it a little bit. I coughed there because it's drying out my throat. This tastes a lot better though. But it's interesting, yeah, there's no, like, difference in texture, whereas, like I said, the cheese-flavored one had, like, the cheese gummies in it that were, like, stick to my teeth. This one doesn't have that. This is all that, like, I don't want to say granola, but, like, cookie-ish texture. It's that all the way through. But somehow not as dry. And yeah, I guess because Japanese, like the way they must prepare their milk, must, I don't know, yeah, dry it out a little bit more. Still very dry, much drier than any, like, American bar would be, but not as bad as the other one. I tried to bite in the microphone. Can you hear that? Also, I just ate the rest of the bar in one bite. That was too much. I felt like I just tried to do the cinnamon challenge. I was not ready. I feel like I would have to imagine that when you're eating these, you must have like tea or coffee with them or something in Japan. You would have to have a drink with this. Because yeah, it's incredibly dry, but I guess the assumption would have to be that you're like eating this with some type of beverage. I can't really imagine enjoying this without being able to like wash it down. Not that it tastes bad. It's good, but it's very dry. Alright, there's the fruit one. Next. This, I'm guessing, is a chocolate flavor, which would be much more in line with how American types of protein bars would taste, I imagine. You can see this one has more protein and a little bit more carbohydrates in it. So that's probably where the chocolate comes from. But you can see the label is a black label this time. And then here's the back side for anyone who can maybe read Japanese. Pop this one open. Again, same thing. What's funny though is while the Calorie Mate logo is black, the tinfoil wrapper is brown. So definitely chocolate. At least I hope. Yeah, you can see it's a brown gold wrapper thing. That's really fun. It does say open in English along it, which is funny. Not in kanji or anything like that. They're relatively easy to open, I say, as I finally am not able to open them. They all look remarkably the same. This does not smell like chocolate. Actually, this smells really gross. Here it is. I don't see any... There's no, like, chocolate inside the bar itself. It is just, like, another standard block, which means it's entirely flavoring. But it doesn't smell chocolatey. But like we just mentioned, obviously we know the Japanese flavor palette isn't as, like, sweet as an American one. So I know that their chocolates are usually a little bit more, like, they're darker. We did the one video before where we tried Japanese Kit Kats, which are like all these different like flavors instead of like just milk chocolate like the American one. Because Japan has like 100 different Kit Kat flavors, and America just has the one milk chocolate. This is definitely not milk chocolate, which is what I prefer. But I would say it doesn't even smell like dark chocolate. Also, I just thought of it, this probably is something that, like, because it's so dry, I would imagine you probably would dunk this in, like, a coffee. That's probably how you're supposed to eat these. What is the flavor? I don't know. It tastes like nothing I've ever tasted before. The aftertaste kind of tastes like a darker chocolate, but when I'm eating it, it does mostly tastes like the grain. It's really only the chocolate that comes through in the aftertaste, like after you swallow. And you can kind of feel the hints of chocolate through it, of like a dark chocolate, but for the most part it just kind of tastes like the granola. I don't really know what you would call this, the wafer, maybe? It doesn't taste very chocolatey. But it also doesn't taste like as much of the wafer as the cheese one did. It's also definitely the most moist one so far. It's not super moist, it's still dry, but it has a little bit more texture to it than the fruit and cheese one. It seems like it's getting a little bit softer as we go. The cheese one obviously super dry, the fruit one a little bit more. This one does fall apart a lot easier in your mouth. gotta like open my mouth to keep eating it though. It's like, as we go, it's like drying my mouth out more and more. Like the saliva's not returning to my mouth, which is unusual because like usually you get saliva as you're eating, not to gross you out, but like it's like drying me out as we go here. So I must say, I think of the flavors so far, the chocolate is my least favorite. I mean, I'll eat these all of these because I paid for them. But if I were to do these again, I would probably order the fruit one again. That fruit one was very good. I'm not a huge fan of the chocolate and cheese ones. But I would ask, maybe, just maybe, you gotta wait a few more minutes as we try out the OG Calorie Mate. This is the red logo, the classic logo. This is the one that I think Snake was eating in Snake Eater. This one has the least amount of sugar and the most calories. Or not calories, the most protein. So this is definitely the more standard protein bar. They didn't have to change up the recipe for the flavors and stuff. So you can see it's almost 9 grams of protein and it only has 39 grams of sugar. So they cut it below the 40. So, and again, here's the classic, or here's the back for anyone who can read Japanese. My kid's so funny, my camera doesn't even want to focus on the text on the Japanese side. It like doesn't know what to do. There we go. There's the breakdown. Ingredients are primarily the same though on the front as they were to the other. For whatever reason, this one's like already open at the bottom. I don't know why. Is that like helps you open it? 39 grams is a lot of sugar still. That doesn't sound very American of you, but okay, sure. Alright, let's get this open. Oh, first I gotta show this wrapper. You can see it's got the darker, like a classic red. A red logo, red coloring. They're all very fun, like, gold wrapper. Which is nice, that it's still like tinfoil even inside the cardboard box. Usually they're not that fancy in the US. Packaging. Too much. Too expensive. Ooh, yep, this one's totally different. Hey. This looks like the chocolate one would. This one is all brown, not the white wafers of the other one. Did I misjudge? Did I think the other one was chocolate because of the black logo, and that threw me off on the taste? Because mentally I was thinking that it was chocolate, so I like couldn't register the taste. Like, you know when you eat something and you take a drink of something and you think it's gonna be something else, it's like awful because that's not what you were thinking you were about to eat, even if you normally like that thing. I wonder. Because I would think this would be the chocolate one, because it's fully brown. There's no white, even, it's not just a fluke either. Both wafers, if you look at the other wafer here, is also fully brown. It doesn't smell like chocolatey though. Did I totally misjudge? Why would the chocolate be in the red label though, and the non-chocolate be in the red label? No, this is 100% the chocolate one. Alright, we need to go back to the other flavor. After this. With the right headspace. Because maybe I just diluted that chocolate aftertaste in my mind because I was so focused on the black and brown one to be the chocolate flavoring. This is absolutely chocolate. Hang on. Now I gotta look up. Your label's mixed up? The labels aren't mixed up, I just don't know how to read them because they're in Japanese. Yeah, so I pulled up the... Oh! The flavors are fruit, chocolate, cheese, and maple. So the other one I ate was maple. And that sweet aftertaste that I was thinking was chocolatey was probably the maple. So black and brown being maple, okay, that makes sense. Need my translator glasses, yeah. So this one is still definitely dry as the chocolate one, but ironically, despite the fact that it has the least amount of sugar of all the flavors, this is the sweetest tasting one by far, and this definitely does taste more like a milk chocolate. I would say this is probably... I don't know. This and the fruit one is really good. I do like a really good fruit bar. I'm gonna try retry the maple real fast. Nothing like a good 500 calories in 10 minutes, right? I could have eaten like a Big Mac and gotten less calories on stream. I guess there's more vitamins in this though, so. Again, I'm like, there's like no saliva left in my mouth, by the way. You must have to eat this with like a coffee or something. Like, I've got water, but I just totally missed my mouth with the water, by the way. So we're getting the full grotesque spill all over myself in the mukbang on the stream, unintentionally, of course. We do not recommend trying to get an entire day's worth of nutrition from Calorie Mate. Yeah. Well, actually, I assume I just ate 4 bars. I assume they probably want you to eat this in one sitting. 4 bars would have been one of these. So yeah, weirdly enough, I think the dark red is not the original. It's the chocolate. Pretty good though. But yeah, not very. I don't know, not moist, I guess would be the way to say it. I don't mind these. I think if I made these with coffee, like if I had these for breakfast, and I was drinking a nice coffee with them, or like I dipped them in the coffee a little bit, I think these would like slap. So I'm not sure if that's how you're supposed to eat them. I didn't really look into how you were supposed to eat them, because I figured we were just gonna eat them, just like our boy Solid Snake. Because he just ate him in the woods for survival. And good old snake eater. But yeah, that's probably how you're supposed to eat these. Alright, let's give the maple one more shot now that we know what this is supposed to be. Alright, now that we know this is maple. Also, if you're watching the VOD, or if I post this as a separate video as a clip out of a stream highlight, and you know what these flavors are actually supposed to be, and my taste palette is just totally wrong and not registered to Japanese flavorings, feel free to comment what color is what flavor. My guess, though, is the pink is fruit, the green is cheese, the dark red is chocolate, because, I mean, the bar is brown, so that's probably the chocolate one, and the black must be maple. But I could be wrong. Somehow. I still think this is... If this is maple... It doesn't smell like syrup. But again, I know American syrup has a lot of sugar and a lot of sweetener and stuff in it. So maybe this is like a more normal maple flavoring. But... this is not a great smell. If I had to assign a Metal Gear character to each flavor, who would be who? Huey is this maple one. Old Snake is cheese, because he's just trying to make it through. Not offensive, but not as good as he used to be. Solid Snake would be chocolate, just right. Quiet would be the fruit flavored, because... Alright. Okay. It's so weird how your mind works when you're eating stuff. Because I was eating this originally thinking that this would be chocolate. My mind just totally blanked when it entered my mouth. Now that I'm eating this and I know it's maple, hang on. Sorry. I wasn't rinsing my mouth off for the flavor. I just need some moisture in my mouth to be able to talk. Now that I know it's maple, it's so weird how your mind makes these connections. Because now I do taste the, like, a maple syrupy taste to it when I'm eating it. And that aftertaste is still like a sweetness to it, but I do recognize the maple syrup taste. So it's very interesting how you just ate food blindfolded and didn't really think about it. It would entirely change up your palate. Because this was like, the smell was rough, and the original taste was rough, but coming back to it, the smell is still rough, but I think it does taste a little bit better as I'm eating it, and I'm now not like totally confused by the flavor. Or maybe I am. Again, comment below if you're watching the VOD and I'm totally wrong. I will say that this gets a bump up though. I don't think it passes the other flavors, but I do like it a little bit more now. Yeah. It's better than the cheese. I think from worst to best, I'm gonna go cheese, maple, chocolate, fruit. And I think fruit's the original flavor. So, that's probably the right ordering. That's probably the ordering that Calorie Mate would want to hear, that I like the original, the standard one, the best. But, yeah, it's so funny how wildly different this tastes now that I'm thinking of something different. I'm also, like, full, by the way. This is, like, tough for me to finish. Maple's promoted from Huey to Otacon. Alright, let's not go that far. Maple's promoted from Huey to... Metal Gear Solid 5's Ocelot. it's becoming more and more difficult to eat, not just because I'm now more full, but my mouth is like totally dried out. Here are the boxes lined up of all the different Calorie Mates we just tried. Not bad. I do think my sugary palate prefers the standard American protein bar, but they're better than Cliff Bars. That's for damn sure. See ya when I never get sponsored, because companies that might be interested in sponsoring me don't like that I compare this to other brands. But yeah, not bad. I think I would eat that fairly regularly if I could get the Calorie Mate on shelves in the US. I'd probably pick it up again. I'm not opposed to it, but I don't know if it's worth the cost of importing it. That's the thing. If I was ever in Japan, probably would try them again. If they were just on the shelves in the US, like if I went to Walmart and could get this, I'd pick it up. But the old classic Nutri-Grain bar, I think, beats it out for my sweetened American palate. Also, because I really like that the fruit paste in the Nutri-Grain bars prevents it from being that dry. Though, I am going to try these off-stream tomorrow morning with some coffee and see if that changes my thoughts on the flavoring. Because like I said, I feel like you can kind of tell that those are definitely not meant to just be eaten with, like, water, like how I had for the stream. Here. So that's it. Well, for the taste testing. If you're watching my stream of Metal Gear, now we're going to try the Boss Rush survival mode. But if you're watching the video that I clipped out as a highlight, please check the comments. Let me know what you think of the different flavors and if you've tried it before. Subscribe to the channel, drop a like, and please check out my full Metal Gear Solid playlist and watch all of the streams up to when Metal Gear Solid Delta releases later this year in August, or now in August, depending on how much later you're watching this video, and enjoy those live with me. For those of you watching the highlights, have a wonderful day. For those of you here in the stream, let's get back to that boss rush.